Hello, it's Guillotine here, and welcome to my unboxing and review of the Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Super Action Statue, Jonathan Joestar. He was one of my Christmas presents. My dad got him for me, and I'm really excited about him. I've been wanting Jonathan for a very long time. I mean, he looks very basic. Most likely he is going to be very basic, but he's Jonathan. You know, that's to be expected. He's a basic character. You know, it's part one. It's not the best thing in the world, but with this will be the last part that I need to have a figure from every single part of JoJo. So with this, I have literally got a figure from every single part of JoJo. At least one, which is awesome. We really love that. Other than part 9, of course, but part 9 literally has 0 figures yet so far. So that will happen one day, hopefully. But yes, with this, I will have a figure from every one of the first 8 part of JoJo's, which is awesome. I'm really excited about this. He looks really great. I'm super excited for Speedwagon and Zeppeli as well. I've got Speedwagon pre-ordered, and I definitely plan on getting Zeppeli relatively soon. Super excited about this. He looks absolutely awesome. Let's go over the box actually. So we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right there. We have the Medicos logo. We have Jonathan Joestar. There he is in the package looking awesome. Super action statue. There's a nice picture of him looking all defiant and heroic on the top. We're going to talk about that brown hair. There's another picture on the side right there. Same exact picture. On the back, there's some product shots right there. You can see he comes with the sword of pluck. And you have all of the product shots right there. There's the Approved by Shueisha sticker. There's all of the accessories right there. The sword of pluck. Very cool. And yeah, let's get him out. Let's cut to me picking him up for the first time. I knew he was gonna be big, but my god, he is big. I'm excited about this. All right, picking him up for the first time. Let's see here. Ooh, he already feels significantly nicer than Caesar. Caesar was the earliest figure I had gotten before this, the earliest part figure I had gotten before this, and he was not too great. If you've seen my ranking video, Caesar was towards the bottom because my copy of the figure, at least, had a lot of loose joints. His torso was very loose. Honestly, his is a little bit looser than I would like, but it's not to the same level as Caesar, so that's really nice. And yeah, he looks great. Other than that brown hair, we're gonna talk about that. Don't worry. Here we have Jonathan. He looks great. Right out of the package, he looks like another home run for Medicos. I really like him already. Joints feel nice and solid. Love the shading right here. Let's get in here close on him. We'll talk about that brown hair. Don't you worry. Just give me a few more seconds. But the head sculpt, aside from the brown hair, looks great. He's got Jonathan's nice defiant look right there, looking great. The blue eyes look awesome. The ears are nicely done. And the hair, even though it's brown, you know, it does look pretty good. You've got the nice, like, you can see all the different, like, grooves and whatnot that are cut in there. It looks great. He looks very nice and heroic, as Jonathan should look. You've got his nice little, like, the little, like, embroidered part pattern around his shoulders right there, around the neck area. Looking great. His pecs are nice and defined, looking awesome, swole as fuck, looking great. Nice gold picked out for the belt buckles right there. The belt as well looks great. He looks absolutely fantastic. Love the gloves and the gauntlets, the nice little belts hanging off. You got some gold picked out for the knuckles as well. Looks absolutely awesome. And you can see you've got a very nice, like, mix of blue right here. You've got some nice like lighter blue fading into a bit more of a darker blue in the freaking wrinkles right there. And you can see on the skin as well, they got some really nice shading going on in the skin. There's some pink to go in with the tan as well. Looks absolutely terrific. Even on the hands, that actually might be a little bit too far, but still looks good. I don't mind it at all. There's the neck as well. Same thing on that neck right there. Really like how this guy came out. And then down to his big old boots right there, looking great as well. I think it's all one color, but it still looks great. There might be a little bit of shading towards the top there, but yeah, overall, looks absolutely great, except for the elephant in the room, the brown hair. Okay, I know the brown hair is manga accurate, but to me, it looks wrong. I'm not a fan of it. For me, Jonathan has blue hair all the time, every single time, and it just looks so wrong without the blue hair. And to the point with this one, I might actually try and customize this. I might actually buy some blue paint and try and paint his hair blue, because it just looks so wrong to me. Like, I just do not like the brown hair. I'm not a fan of it. It just looks wrong to me, man. I know it's manga accurate, but, you know, I mainly watched the anime, and I played JoJo's Battle All-Star R, and in both of those, his hair is blue, and literally, like, everything anything except for the manga, his hair is always drawn as blue because it just looks better. It just looks better, straight up. The brown hair is just boring, and it's not good. I don't like the brown hair. I don't like it. I'm sorry. If you like it, that's good, but I don't like it. But yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I might actually try and paint it. I might actually buy some blue paint and try and paint it because it just looks wrong to me. Aside from the brown hair, though, he looks great. I'm not even going to take off a lot of points. I'm not going to take off any points for the brown hair because even though it's a subjective opinion, because it is manga accurate. It is manga accurate. In like the opening, in like the famous shot of Dio and Jonathan, his hair is clearly brown in that shot. So it is manga accurate. It's just not the version of the character that is accurate to me, and I also just think it doesn't look as good. This is another thing that the David Productions anime changed that I think it changed for the better. Like this Star Platinum being purple instead of green, I like that way better. Josuke, well, actually, I think Josuke was purple in the manga as well. This is a change that was good, was the blue hair. It just looks better. It makes Jonathan, it just looks more like Jonathan. Like with I can honestly see someone looking at my collection and not knowing this is Jonathan because of the brown hair, because it just looks wrong to me. But it's still a really nice figure. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. Let's go over the articulation, because I think I see some butterfly joints in here, which is awesome. But the head is on a ball joint going up right there, which is great. I prefer the ball joints over the pegs from the Part 7 figures. I'm not even gonna lie. I think you get a little bit more range out of it, and it's just a little bit nicer to move, in my opinion. You got the nice base, you got the nice ball joint at the base right there. He is really, really nice to pose. He just moves really fluidly. And yes, you do have butterfly joints in the torso right there. That is amazing. It's not much. You don't get a ton of butterfly, but it's more than pretty much any other super action statue I've ever collected, which is awesome. I love me some butterfly, and this is great. This is probably here so you could have him wielding the Sword of Pluck with both of the hands. That was going to look really great. You're going to be able to get him in some really great poses with that. And then moving down to the torso right there, you've got a ball joint at the base right there. That one was kind of stuck, but I freed it up, and now it moves great. Same right here. Honestly, both of these feel really, really nice. Like, yeah, see, he doesn't wiggle around when I move him like Caesar does, so that is really, really great. I might even buy another Caesar just to try, like, eventually down the line. I might buy, like, the other version of Caesar and see if his torso is better, just because, I love Caesar, and I want my Caesar to be better, but this is really nice. Like, I think this is a good tightness. It's still maybe, like, a hair looser than I would like, but I'm a picky bastard when it comes to tightness and loose joints and all that. Like, yeah, I'm like the pickiest freaking son of a bitch ever when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then the legs right here, you can move the legs forward. That is really, really great. Move it back. He is really nice. He actually feels like kind of like a NECA figure, except like way more articulated, obviously. Like, he's just big. He's nice and big and beefy. Let me actually bring in somebody here. We're about to do comparisons anyway, but let me just bring in somebody here. Okay, I brought in Diavolo here. Look how much bigger he is compared to Diavolo, and he just feels bigger. He just feels like a bigger, like, higher scale figure, and maybe he is. Maybe he's out of scale with most of the other super action statues, because he is very big, but I don't mind it, actually. Like, Jonathan and Joseph were drawn to be really big, and even Jotaro as well. They were drawn to be big beefcake guys. That was kind of the early thing with JoJo before Rocky was, like, wanted to slim all the characters down. And I also brought out Poochie here, because he's also a really tall one, and even here, Jonathan dwarfs Poochie. He is way, way, way bigger. So, yeah, he's a big boy, and he feels good in the hand. And of course, we have to bring in his ascendants. There's a Josuke. There is Jotaro right there. He is so hard to stand up. Come on, Jotaro. Come on. There we go. There's Jolene. There we go. Oh, God. Let me just stand them all up real quick. There we go. Joestar family portrait. Oh, my God. It looks great. Yeah, Jonathan is way bigger than all of these. But again, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I feel like this is accurate. I feel like, well, not all of this. These guys are clearly out of scale, which is, it does bother me a little bit. But they're still good figures, so I'm mostly okay with it. But Jonathan was a beefcake. He was meant to be a huge dude in the first part. So this, I think he's in scale with. This, I don't think he's in scale with. So I'm a little bit iffy. I mean, I'm just not crazy about the scale on these two in general. I much prefer the scale that all of these figures fit in, but it is what it is. Maybe someday we'll get updated part 4 and part 3 Josuke's and Jotaro's. That would be awesome, but until then, you know, I'll make it work. They all still look great together. Alright, and one last comparison before we get into my favorite part, of course, the accessories. Also wanted to show him with Caesar here so you can see how he scales with my other earliest figure right here. He is bent down just a teeny tiny bit, but as you can see, Jonathan does still tower over Caesar. But again, that feels accurate to me. I mean, Caesar is obviously from the earlier times when the characters were drawn to be more beefy, but I still think Caesar probably would be about this height compared to Jonathan. Like, Jonathan, he was a big boy. He's meant to be like this heroic, massive figure, and I like it. I like the way that Jonathan looks in the scale of most of these figures. I think it looks great. And then for one last comparison, here he is with the Figma Rimuru, just so you can see how he scales with some other figures right there. Well, hang on, actually, just to make myself not a liar when I say other figures and not just figure. Here is also the NECA Ultimate Jason Voorhees right here. I'll stick him right there. He knocked him over, but there you go. There you can see how he scales with some other figure lines right there. Looks great. Looks freaking great. All right, so far, yet another home run for Medicos. This figure is awesome. Let's jump in to the accessories. All right, first up, we've got this nice angry head sculpt right here. So we don't get a traditional screaming head sculpt like most Super Action statues. We get an angry head sculpt right here, and we can just pop off the standard one and give him the angry one. And, ooh, his hair is very spiky. That's definitely a problem. But hey, it popped on. Oh, no, man. Let me get some friggin' behind the camera strength and shirt protection. There he is with the big one on, so he can be all like, sunlight yellow, overdrive him. That looks really, really great. Yeah, this is a nice head. I'll probably display him with this head. It does suck that he doesn't have a smiling head sculpt, because, you know, it's Jonathan. He's the purest boy of all. But I don't mind it. I mean, again, a smiling head sculpt would have been great, because, yeah, Jonathan is just, oh man, he's just the purest boy. He's the purest boy in the world. But this is a great head sculpt, so you can get him in his sunlight yellow overdrive poses, and this is a nice stoic head sculpt. But honestly, I think I actually would have preferred a smiling head sculpt over the standard stoic one. Like, I like this one, would have preferred a smiling one over this. Just because it's Jonathan, man. He just loves life. Just now realized I forgot to go over articulation, but look at that beautiful arm pose ability. That is fantastic. We'll go over that in a second, though. I'm too excited to go over I'm too excited to wait on the accessories. All the accessories are so damn cool, and this figure is so great. So we'll talk about the articulation after the accessories, assuming I don't forget, which is totally possible. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty great. As you can see, you've got nice bends right there. Awesome elbow joints right there. Oh wait, did I go over them? I talked about the head at least. I think I talked about the head and the torso and the legs. I don't think I talked about the arms at all. I talked about the butterfly, but I didn't bring up the double jointed elbows right there. But those are absolutely fantastic. So, boom. All right, I'm getting off track here. Let's get back into it and talk about the hands now. My God, look at these gigantic hands. So in the package, of course, you've got his fist hand so he can sunlight yellow overdrive, but you also get some really nice splayed out hands right here as well. So you pop those on, and this is really nice. They actually sculpted this little belt piece on the hand. This is actually sculpted on the hand, so you don't have to worry about it going flying, which is really awesome. Like, even with like Caesar right here, these gold things come off of his hand every single time you want to change his hand. So it's a huge pain in the ass to change out his hand. But with Jonathan here, these are all sculpted onto the hands, which is absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that. So yeah, you get a pair of these splayed out hands. So if you wanted to, you could get him, and you can use these butterfly joints, get him going like this. Oh man, this guy is fantastic. I think the part 1 figures were actually fairly recent releases. I feel like, because like Speedwagon and Zeppeli came out last year. Speedwagon's coming out next year. So I think Jonathan was probably only like a few years ago when they made him, and it shows because he is fantastic. All right, and we also get some karate chop hands right there for each side. We've got this hand to hold the sword of pluck, and we have this hand to hold the sheath for the sword of pluck. So very cool. Let's actually pop these two in his hand right here, because I'm going to need to show that, of course, when I give him the sword of pluck. We'll pop that in right there. He's actually a little bit more difficult to switch the hands on because, there we go. That actually looks a little bit too small. I wonder if I can actually get that in there. I might have to like dig that dig that peg hole out. That's really small. Oh, there we go. Got it in there. Yeah, okay, so he's probably the most difficult super action statue I have experienced to date to switch the hands out on. It's just the way they are. They like to move, and they're not as snug. I mean, yeah, they're snug. They don't go on as nicely as like every other super action statue I have so far. But honestly, not even a big deal. It just means that, you know, takes a little bit longer and they're a little bit nicer to pose because they don't want to come off as easily. But I mean, I don't really have any problems with that on my other figures. And sometimes I think I would prefer them coming off a little bit more easily, but I still think this is perfectly acceptable. I don't feel like it's worth taking off points for, especially for this figure, which is absolutely awesome. And I don't feel like this thing deserves it to lose points on something so minor like that. But yeah, that's awesome. And then in the bottom of the box, you get his backpack and the Sword of Pluck right there, which look absolutely awesome. Let's pop these out right here. So we have the legendary Sword of Pluck. They did a great job on this. Look at that beautiful purple and the pluck painted on the handle right there. Let me see if I can actually get a better shot of that. This is the best I can get, but I mean, this is actually pretty much what it looks like in real life. You can't really make out the pluck. You can see the bloody P right there, and then the uck right there. Oh yeah, you can kind of make it out. There you go. You can kind of see it on the camera as well. You can kind of see the pluck right there, which looks really, really cool. And the nice gold hilt. Man, they did a great job on this. This looks amazing. Very, very cool. And you can just plug this into this hand right there. Goes right in. Oh my God, that looks awesome. My goodness gracious, this thing is absolutely fantastic. Oh, I love him so much. He's so freaking great. Look at that. Look at him holding the Sword of Pluck. You can put it over his shoulder right there. He looks so good. I wonder if I can give him and put him in a nice resting it over his shoulder pose like this. I'm gonna try it one more time. Hang on. You can just barely do it, and even then you're kind of faking it because unfortunately the elbow doesn't go up enough to get it fully looking good, but it still looks pretty good. This is a pretty great pose right here already. Oh my God, I love this fucking figure. This might actually even be the top 5. This one is so great. He just feels so great. The size of him, he just feels wonderful to pose around, wonderful to change out all the accessories. I am in love with this figure. Look how cool he looks too. But of course, we're not done with the accessories. Yeah, we also have the sheath for the Sword of Pluck right here, and I believe we actually get, let me see if this goes on the same hand. Nope, you actually get it for the other hand, so you can pop off the other hand, give him this hand right here, and this hand is able to hold the sheath right there. Yeah, see, you can see this guy's easily the most difficult time I've had switching out the hands on these figures. Usually they just go pop, pop. It's just brain dead easy, like a monkey could do it, but he's actually a little bit more difficult. So yeah, you can give him the sheath right there for the Sword of Pluck. He doesn't have anywhere to put it on his body. That is anime accurate, of course, but it would have been cool if you could plug it onto his belt right there. Again, not something he ever does in the show or the manga, I believe, but it would have been kind of cool if they just put a little peg hole that you could just right there. Would have been kind of cool, but it is what it is. And he actually is having a hard time holding the sheath right there. Okay, he holds it really nice. Nope, he doesn't actually. Yeah, he doesn't hold the sheath the best. That's probably actually the first actual issue with this figure. He does like to drop the sheath, but once you get it posed on the shelf, I think it'll look pretty good. And I do believe that the Sword of Pluck can actually get sheathed in the thing. Yes, it can. Beautiful. It does. Oh yeah, it does. It does plug in nice and securely right there. That's awesome. You guys know I much prefer this. It's a lost art, man. It's a lost art. Absolutely love that. Look, that looks great. Look at that. And you can just have that plugged in right there. It would again be nice if he actually held that a little bit better. Maybe there's something you could do to make him hold that a little bit better, but it still looks absolutely awesome. I really, really love this thing. Yeah, that's really annoying that he doesn't like to hold the sheath perfectly well. But I mean, hey, he gets the job done, I think. There he is, ready to go take on Dio and avenge his father. Oh my goodness, he looks absolutely awesome. Yeah, they just crushed with this. But we have one more accessory as well. We have his backpack right there. And this looks way better than they did on Koichi's backpack. Koichi's backpack is a huge pain in the ass. It doesn't like to stay on. It doesn't have a peg hole, so you can't put the stand in it, so he just likes to fall over. It's basically worthless, basically. You can't even use it. But with this one, you've got a peg hole that goes all the way through, so you can still give him the stand if you need it. I mean, he stands up pretty pretty damn well on his own, as long as you get the feet flat right there, which I mean, that goes without saying with any action figure. But with this guy, I think you just gotta unplug this part right there, and you just got to wrap this around the arm right there, and then this piece, ooh, I think you actually do have to kind of get this one. Oh, nope, actually you just put that on. Yeah, that's so much easier. Oh my God, that is so much easier. They did such a great job on this accessory, and then you just bring this around and get that tab in right there, and then just plug that in right there. That is so freaking convenient. Look how great that goes on, and look how great that looks. That is absolutely brilliant. Wow, they did such an amazing job on this. I know I've said that like 500 times in this video, but I just can't help it. This guy looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. They did such a great job on the sort of pluck. They did such a great job on the sculpting, the articulation, the backpack. It's just all fantastic. This is making me really excited to get Speedwagon because, oh man, I love the way the Speedwagon looks. And if he's anything like Jonathan here, God, he is going to be a top freaking tier figure. I mean, all these things are top tier figures. This friggin' line is just awesome. And I do believe that is all the accessories. Of course you do. Get the stand as always. Let's see how this one feels, because the one that Funny Valentine came with felt awesome. Let's see how this one feels. Yeah, see, this one is, yeah, it's really annoying to get that in. It doesn't want to come out easily. The joints are probably going to crack very, very easily. Yeah, these are exactly what I'm talking about. These stands are just made out of shit plastic. Again, it's not Medicos' fault. They're a smaller company. To give us these figures at a reasonable price, they have to use cheaper plastic especially for stuff like this. But there's even some like more rougher plastic on this figure. It's a common thing with these Super Action statues. It's just something you have to accept if you want to collect these figures. And I think it's 100% worth it. And these stands, I mean, you're probably not going to need these except for your stands, which is super confusing, of course, but you're not going to need these unless you use them for your stands, of course, which, I mean, I haven't bought any stands yet. Well, technically I have. They're in my pile of loot, but I'm super excited to buy them very, very soon. But aside from the stand that came with the Funny Valentine, these are kind of unusable, and I'm probably gonna have to like use stands from like other figures for my stands. Oh my God, it's so hard to talk about stands. Oh, whatever. I just sound like a crazy person. You need stands for your stands, guys. Anyway, let's jump in to the final thoughts on wonderful Jonathan right here. So getting into my final thoughts on the SH, not the SH figure, it's the Super Action statue, Jonathan Joestar. This is a new top recommendation for me for newcomers into the line, because of course it's Jonathan. You need Jonathan, of course, and he is absolutely fantastic. His accessories are so great. You have so much things that you can play around with, have fun with. His articulation is amazing, even having a little bit of butterfly movement in the arms, which is incredible. The sculpt is awesome. I almost forgot that I was complaining for like 3 minutes straight about the blue hair, because this figure is so damn great. Medicos knocks it out of the park once again. He is amazing. Absolutely freaking stupendous, spectacular. I absolutely love him, and I give him a big ol' S tier. I think he's basically perfect. He is absolutely awesome. All of his articulation is great. All of his posability is great. The sort of pluck, oh my God, they knocked it out of the park on this thing. The paint is just absolutely perfect. The backpack is so perfectly executed. This like takes like all the problems that the Koichi one came with, that the Koichi backpack came with, and just fixes all of them. And I totally forgot to show real quick. I'll show it real quick though. They give you have a stand hole in the back of the backpack right there, and they give you a little stand extender right there. So you can put this all the way through the backpack into the back peg and still put him on his stand. So if you need to put him on his stand, which you probably don't, because he stands up perfectly fine on his own, like all the other Super Action statues. But if you want to put him on a stand, you have that ability to, and you don't have to take off the backpack like you do with Koichi. So yeah, he's absolutely incredible. He's freaking amazing. An absolute must-have, yet another home run for Medicos. I love him. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like and subscribe for some more JoJo Super Action statue reviews in the future. Let me know all your thoughts on the Super Action statue Jonathan in the comment section down below. And this is DK Guillotine, signing out.